set up this Green Lease workshop today to basically help identify all of the barriers that exist to getting people to adopt green leases, and then to figure out which are the most important barriers to address.
We're all interested in energy efficiency and improving energy efficiency in our building stock, and green leasing is the tool that lets us get at issues that can be resolved together by landlords and tenants.
We were able to have some really great speakers from the Institute for Market Transformation, Natural Resources Defense Council, BOMA, which is the Building Owners and Operators International, Delaware Valley Green Building Council was our co-host, as well as the U.S. Department of Energy, who are all doing really good work on the green lease issue.
The split incentive issue really is about the different motivations and kind of priorities of owners and tenants. Who has to spend the capital costs and who pays the energy bills, and therefore where's the benefit from an energy savings? Where is that stream flowing?
Not all tenants understand the importance of sustainability. And not all building owners understand that just because a building is sustainable doesn't mean they necessarily have to make huge investments or that there's a cost component.
Owners, tenants, users of space, the brokerage community on both sides all need to be educated in this area and to understand more about it.
A green lease is any type of energy efficiency or environmental or sustainability measure that makes it into a leasing arrangement.
Every lease is a snowflake, and that's not necessarily a good thing. If we had more standardization, I think it would be easier for people to understand, and we heard that this morning.
There are different elements of a lease that impact the energy usage and how the costs and benefits of retrofit are aligned.
How to balance it so that both parties benefit or share the risk of those upgrades.
I'm not sure that the green lease is a barrier itself. I think that perhaps the legal language around it might be a barrier, if it was more simply put.
Getting everyone up to the same level of information and starting the conversation is a major barrier.
Inertia is probably the biggest barrier. Landlords, tenants, brokers, leasing attorneys who are used to doing things in a certain way, and they've done it throughout their career, and now we're asking them to think about a different way of approaching leasing. And it's critical to transform the brokers and the lawyers so that they don't look at green leasing as a hassle and an obstacle that they need to fight through, but rather as a way that they can bring value to their clients.
I think that there's some more outreach that needs to be done to get the owners, the tenants, the brokers, and maybe the attorneys all together to talk about this particular topic.
There are a few good examples of how green leases can work. New York City has a good sample lease that they have made available through the Green Lease Library that's becoming more and more commonplace. And I think that's the type of thing that can really change, the market here.
I think in reality, both the owner and tenant can benefit from an energy-aligned lease or some kind of lease structure that addresses energy usage and measures to reduce it.
I think we'll definitely have a lot of engagement from our platforms in the work that we'll be doing around green leases, so that we're always testing out our products and services before they hit the full market.
The NRDC's Center for Market Innovation is supporting New York City in a mayoral challenge that they're about to make to major tenants to reduce energy use, energy consumption by those tenants by at least 30% over 10 years.
Green lease case studies are something that the Department of Energy is trying to work on actively.
And we're also working with the City of Philadelphia on a facilities task force that's looking at the city's leases. So even our public agencies, I think, can benefit from this in addition to the commercial building sector.
I think some of the best green leasing resources out there you can find in the Green Lease Library. So the Department of Energy, through the Commercial Building Energy Alliances, worked with a number of different partner organizations to really identify and aggregate all the different resources out there.
It's really a portal of information and tools for cities, owners, tenants who are interested in energy-aligned leases or green leases.
BOMA produced a green lease guide in 2008, and then we redid it again in 2011, and our plan is to constantly upgrade it. But what we're finding is our members aren't necessarily taking our green lease guide and adopting it 100%. They're looking through it and seeing the various lease language, and then taking it piecemeal and incorporating it into their lease forms, and that's great. And that's exactly what we had hoped would happen with that guide.
Rocky Mountain Institute and Institute for Market Transformation also have a number of different resources out there that just lay out what is a green lease, what are the benefits of a green lease, and then how to implement green leasing.
RMI worked with BOMA to create a guide that lays out 5 best practices.
I think the EEB Hub has a huge role to play in the region, talking about the split incentive and other issues around lease.
The next steps for us are to figure out how to use green leases, or whatever we're going to call them, to encourage much greater adoption of energy efficiency.
Now that we have the Green Lease Library up and running, our next steps are going out and getting actual lease language being put into place in different markets around the country, and creating case studies or reports around that.
Today was the first, I think, convened conversation that we've now had around this issue specifically.
Now that we have some green lease models, and now that we have some other work that's being done in the hub focused on tenants, I think this is a place where you can map how you infuse this kind of thinking into the marketplace as a model for lots of other markets in the country.
I think what we accomplished today was really sort of setting a path forward for the work of the Hub in helping to promote green leases as a tool to help address the split incentive, which will help to hopefully boost the amount of building owners and tenants and brokers that use green leases as a tool towards energy efficiency.